If you're in your early 20s, you're standing at a fork in the road, especially as a young man. You rarely have a choice between two different trajectories, and each one has a clear trade-off and comes with its own set of benefits and costs. The first obvious trajectory is you can lock in and focus on building a business earlier on. What that will likely give you is money and freedom earlier in your life, which is immensely valuable. But it obviously comes at a cost of perhaps a narrower perspective globally, less experiences in your early 20s, which are in a lot of cases things that you won't necessarily be able to do or live the same ever, because the window on doing things at that age really does close. So you can do that, but it does come with a cost. The alternate option is to just basically go YOLO and focus on living as much new and novel experiences as possible. So traveling the world, partying, having fun, meeting new people. I chose the second option consciously. I always have been entrepreneurial and always knew that I wanted to build and scale a business. I remember having these thoughts back at age 15. I literally had, drop shipping stores way back in those days when I was living in my auntie's attic. So it's always been a thing, but I realized at an earlier age that there was a trade-off between the two. I couldn't do both. For example, I couldn't be in Brazil on a boat, on tour with the boys for 3 months, as well as be attentive to my customers or clients for whatever business I'd set up. So it was like, once you choose one, it's almost at the expense of the other. It doesn't mean that you can't have a life at all. Like, for example, if you decide you're 21 years old, you want to lock in and build a business, that's your path. It doesn't mean you're going to do nothing else, but it's going to largely restrict what you can and can't do. It genuinely will exclude a lot of very vibrant opportunities for travel in your really early years, which can be extremely valuable in another perspective. So there's a clear trade-off there. Now that I, for the first time, have got to a position of relative freedom, I have a unique perspective which has made me reflect on this, and it's made me reflect specifically on, did I make the right call, or did I actually just waste my 20s? And that's what I want to share with you guys in this video, because I really do wish that I had someone with this perspective back when I was 20, because I really had only bad advice or no advice. Mostly no advice, but like the advice I did get at the time wasn't qualified. Like there was really, I never had a mentor or anyone around me like that that had really lived, really you need someone that's sort of lived both curves. And while I haven't scaled a business up yet, having got to, I guess, base camp where I'm starting to see some of the benefits of the lock-in pay off now in my lifestyle, it's sort of given me a renewed perspective on this. I guess first off, what is the cost, right? Like what are we actually talking about here? I guess I'll share how my 20s went to explain that. So I started university at 20, but in university I worked full-time during the semester year and then took the entire summer break off. So every single summer I took 3 months off and went traveling for the entire summer period, and those travel periods were just total chaos. It was Latin America or Southeast Asia, cheap destinations, skipping hostels, partying, just total living it up. Absolutely no work whatsoever, like nothing, zero. And because of that, the jobs that I had at university to save the money in order to do that were just sort of throwaway minimum wage jobs, like working in hospitality. So that was my university experience, and I came out, got a graduate role, and that was during COVID. So university was 20 to 23, graduate role was 24 and 25. 26 I took basically like a revenge travel year because I was so sick of working in corporate. I literally took a whole year off and went traveling. That was 2022. And that, was amazing, obviously, but came at a huge cost. The next year, as I was turning 27, I was, off the back of a whole year travel, had burned all my money and ran up some credit cards and had to basically go get another job and lock into another corporate stint, which was just totally brutal. Because it's especially brutal when you're paying, you already spent the money and you're paying it back, and it's like it's different to spending savings. It's extra sore. Do I regret it? No, I don't regret it, but I'd be very cautious to recommend it, and you have to be very conscious of what you're getting yourself into. But I knew that I was going to pull up, get a much better job. Money was going to come easier in the future than it had come in the past. So locked in for another 2 years in corporate, and got to the point where I basically was just like, anything's better. I must escape, anything's better. And then this year, at age 28 / gone on 29, I finally broke out, and I'm finally living free for the first time. And now I sort of get it. I have perspective, new perspective, and can compare this to everything else. It's an interesting reflection, right? Because I genuinely have had the best time, like the most amazing I have the most absurd stories. Like, I've been to 60 countries. A lot of that travel was done with very close friends, sometimes in big groups, sometimes solo. It's hard to assign a value to it, but it just means that I've got a very broad global perspective. I've got experience interacting with cultures all around the world, with different people. I've met hundreds of different people from all different walks of life. I've lived in different countries. I speak fluent Spanish. I speak conversational Portuguese, and like things like that. They're invaluable. It's really hard to assign a value to all of that. Likewise, when I check scroll through my camera roll of more than 10,000 photos, it's like most of it is bright, happy photos of me traveling with friends all around the world. A lot of dusty nights, but just a lot of chaos, don't get me wrong, but like really a whole bunch of great times mixed in there, and amazing memories, and shit that I will remember for life. So I made the decision that I was going to go down that path, and I knew it was going to mean that I wasn't going to become a millionaire at 25. I'd be very lucky if I had got my shit together even by 30. And so I was realistically like, if I've got the goal of being a millionaire and I do this could realistically push it out to age 35. And me at 21 thinking that was like, I think that's okay. What do I think now? It's quite difficult for me to admit this, but I compare my life today to how I was living in corporate, and it is fucking night and day different. My life now is not 20% better, it's not 50% better, it is orders of magnitude better. The baseline of my life is just, I would say it's like escaping a fucking 9-to-5 job and becoming autonomous and free and financially stable, and getting all your shit in order, training, fitness, diet, seeing your business starting to get the wheels spinning, and being able to basically be autonomous and run your own schedule, go wherever you want in the world, and just pick your life up. And as a man, it's fucking really rewarding. So comparing this position that I'm in now, this newfound territory, to even 1 year ago, I would say that the difference is probably like a 10x. Like, no shit, a 10x, like 1,000% better. And I say that fully sincerely. And the crazy thing is, I hadn't even made it yet. Like, I'm not rich. I'm no longer I don't have financial worries. Like, I'm financially stable. I've got more money coming in than what I spend each month. Plus I've got a solid cash buffer. Basically, I'm the war chest for funding this business that I'm going to build on this channel. So I'm sitting good and stable, but not rich by any means, absolutely not. And I'm still the one who's doing all the work. Like, I haven't grown a team yet, so there's still so much to do. But with that, what I sort of think is, or what I know, is that it's already been a 10x from where I was to here. And I expect that from here, I expect this is probably the largest change, because it's just worth so much to me to have those freedoms that I've now won. But from here to basically go to a massive financial surplus each month and have largely that work delegated so that I'm actually able to work less, I think we're realistically in for several orders of magnitude more. If I've already done a 10x, I reckon there might be another 3x in store. So if we come back to what we're sort of trying to weigh up and look at it from a different perspective, and this is how I'm starting to think about it now, it's like, okay, I've just worked out that going from working a shit job and being stuck in the 9-to-5, that's your baseline. If you manage to escape that and just become independent and financially stable as a freelancer or something, that's up to a 10x improvement in your baseline, how you objectively perceive your living, your lifestyle and your human experience and your happiness. Now I go back, I'm like, okay, what would it have been worth if I could have achieved that at, say, age 25? Like, and you have to weigh up, like, would I sacrifice all of those, what would I be prepared to say, okay, write that trip off, we'll take those memories out like they never happened, because ultimately that's what would have been required. Like, I do 100% believe that I could have got here at 25, and even further than here, really. Like, I could have got closer to being a millionaire. So would I trade the travel experiences? I honestly think that if I could go back and do it all again, knowing precisely what I know now, I would have locked in. I would have locked in earlier. No shit. That's the honest truth, because it would have freed me years earlier, bought back years of my life. It's not like I didn't get to live those years. I still lived them, but I lived them at a very low, miserable baseline, grinding in a job that I didn't like, right? Whereas if I had a locked in at fucking 18 years old and came out the other side of it at 23 as a millionaire, fuck me. Like, that's 7 years all the way, 7 years of your 20s that you get to do all, you can still do all of the same shit that I did, but now you're doing it with abundance. So yeah, I think knowing what I know now, I would lock in. That would be my advice to my younger self. I would lock in at fucking 18 years old. I would just I'd choose one skill, get extremely good at it, and then just start selling it and then scale it. And yeah, I'd just go fucking all in. That is the honest truth. Like, it's hard to admit, but like, I wouldn't, and I can honestly sit here and say that without having regrets. Like, I don't regret any of the things I've done. The memories are all amazing. It was a great time. But was it the best way to do it? It probably not. No, it would have been better to lock in first, only if I could have truly locked in and really compressed that timeline so that I was free before, as long as you come out before age 25, 100% lock in, because 25 is still young enough to do pretty much all of that shit. But you're going to be doing it as a totally different person. It's like, yeah, that's the answer. I mean, in a nutshell, I think the key learning from this is that whichever curve you pick, you have to commit fully, and you have to know what you're buying. You have to also know what you're giving up. Most people half-ass both, and they actually end up with neither. They don't have a good business. They also don't have, they didn't go full YOLO. They just sort of drifted in some shitty job and took holidays and like let life happen to them. So I really think that you make a conscious choice. Look, I'll tell you what I would do again, but ultimately it's your life. It's up to you. But yeah, that would be ultimately, and from my journey, you've heard my perspective, but it's your life. But just consider it carefully and don't drift. Make a conscious choice and stick to it. And if you've enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to this channel and help us out. I drop a new one every 48 hours. So look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.